Hallihallo meine Freunde und willkommen zurück in einer weiteren Folge Genshin Impact. In der letzten Folge haben wir hier aufgehört und jetzt machen wir auch natürlich weiter. Let's go!
Without an external force damaging the ley lines, they should start to slowly repair themselves. Oh, but I bet you two are more worried about Karkata. Let's head back.
Dann machen wir uns mal auf den Weg, meine Freunde. Erstmal heilen wir mal unsere ganzen Charaktere wieder hoch. So. Damit werden wir jetzt wieder alle geheilt. Und wieder eine Truhe. Nice.
Keep up.
Gib ab. Gib ab, oder was? Sorry.
So, Karkata has been collecting parts because it thinks doing so will fix its owner?
Karkata is unable to understand the concept of death. However, it probably remembers when Abatui replaced its parts when it malfunctioned, and how that restored it to an operational state. It's true that Karkata isn't able to think or understand many topics, but it is like a small child that imitates what adults do.
So that's why it kept stealing mechanical parts. But it can't repair its owner, no matter how hard it tries.
Yes, but the important thing is that it formed the thought of wanting to repair Abatui. No one knows how this thought came to be, but it has even suppressed the instincts that Abatui had installed. If it really is as we've predicted, this research truly will make waves in the academia. It might have been possible to achieve this with ancient technology, but no one has been able to do the same with modern tools.
Karkata? Karkata? Can you hear Paimon? Tainari says you're awesome!
It reached its limit. It hasn't recharged this entire time, nor has it replaced its severely damaged parts. It's a miracle that it managed to hang on for so long. I'm going to confirm that the ley line extractor has shut down. Come with me. Let them be alone for a while.
Okay, meine Freunde, das war schon ein bisschen eine traurige Filmszene tatsächlich. Er hat versucht, seinen Meister zu reparieren. Ist schon ein bisschen traurig, aber so ist es halt. Menschen sterben. Genau. Wir stehen uns gegenüber.
Extractor has ceased operations. Traces of ley line energy are still in the atmosphere, but the effluence's source has been stopped. The purification devices will handle the rest. Moving on, those affected by the ley lines need immediate care. We'll put up an announcement on the bulletin board about the dangers of entering the contaminated region, and for symptomatic individuals to find Kale. According to the Academia's policies, we need to bring everything back. Research materials related to mechanical life forms will be destroyed, and Karkata will be disassembled and sealed away. You two should return first. I'll take care of things here. Although we've stopped the source of the effluence, the ley line energy in the air exceeds normal values. Your bodies won't be able to hold up if you continue to stay here.
But...
Listen, the traveler hasn't rested very well, right? Also, it'll take some time to pack up all the research documents. You're not familiar with this research after all, so you won't be of much use here. Tell the Adventurers Guild that the incident has been resolved, and then get some sleep. We can discuss matters tomorrow. Oh, and don't talk about Abatui. The fewer that know about mechanical life form research, the better.
All right. Then let's go back to Catherine.
Okay, ab zu Köpfen, meine Freunde. Schöne Kiste. 10 Urgestein. Wunderbar. Das war also der schicke Dungeon. Heißt jetzt ein kleines, wir haben gleich die Legendenquest beendet. Jetzt müssen wir ein bisschen aufpassen, meine Freunde, weil irgendwo... Ich frage mich gerade, können wir mit Catherine reden? Wir können die Quest nicht machen. Interessant, sage ich nur, ne? Wir können die Quest nicht machen wegen Catherine. Weil unsere Nahida gerade Catherine ist. Okay. Ja, das ist ja gerade ein bisschen kompliziert tatsächlich gerade. Aber machen wir das mal. Wir müssen erstmal die von Catherine finden. Wo ist Nahida mit Catherine gegangen? Da ist sie gegangen. Kein Wunder, weil Catherine steht nicht da. Sie ist da hinten. Na dann.
Let's continue our chat here. Okay, so do you have any ideas on how we can investigate the sages, Nahida? Actually, I've already done a little bit of work on that. But for now, I want to hear your thoughts. No way, that's too risky. You mean it'd be too easy to get caught? No, it's not that. We shouldn't involve innocent students in this. A single mistake could completely ruin their lives. Doing that would be ignoring the safety of my people for my own selfish goals. How is that any different from what the sages are doing? That's a good point. Spoken like the god of Sumeru. We're in the dark as of now. Since we still don't know anything about their goals, any rash move could tip them off and lead to terrible consequences. After all, every person in Sumeru City is one of their hostages. I've already tried that, but all the key members of the Academia, even the core 30 guards, intentionally avoid wearing their Akasha terminals. It seems that from the very beginning, they've been guarding against info leaks from the Akasha. Of course, it could also be because they're wary of me. Have you already caught the sage's attention? I'm guessing not yet, but distrusting me would make perfect sense if they've ever paid attention to the urban legends about me. In any case, I probably can't take over their minds directly. Are we really out of ideas? Nahida, you're super smart, so you already have something in mind, right? Don't keep us in suspense. Spill the beans already! According to a popular theory from the Vahumana Darshan of the Academia, rejecting impractical motions at the beginning of a planning session will give more weight to the actual proposal. Okay, but aren't you the god of wisdom? You don't have to use that kind of gimmick to make us take your ideas seriously. Well, I've been thinking that if I can't directly possess the leaders, and if I can't get ordinary people involved, Then I should find someone who's already involved, but hasn't decided to side with the sages. You're saying we should recruit a spy? That does sound like it could work. Oh, before coming back, we met someone named Alhaitham. He seems like he acts alone, and he likes doing stuff behind the Academia's back. They probably aren't in cahoots. Actually, I already have someone in mind. Do you still remember that female scholar named Setaria? Setaria? Paimon remembers now. Isn't she the one who's always trailing behind the Grand Sage of the Academia? We ran into her basically every time the Sub-Zero's festival repeated itself. You could even say we're old enemies by now. Paimon still remembers the smug and mean way she always spoke to Nilou. I've always liked observing all kinds of people, and Setaria has always stood out from the crowd. She was born in the desert and was hailed as their greatest genius. Her academic gifts allowed her special admission into the Academia, and also gave her the opportunity to serve as the sage's assistant. Oh, Paimon didn't know she was from the desert. She must be pretty special then. Paimon feels like most of the desert dwellers around the city are working as mercenaries. The name Setaria means star. When she lived in the desert, she shone like the brightest star in the night sky. Later on, she was chosen by the sun. The star was given a place in the daytime sky to complement the sun's dazzling light. Soon after, the star witnessed the sun scorching the earth, which brought forth many disasters. The star began to waver. Instead of staying beside such a sun, wouldn't it be better to return and light up part of the night sky? But in the end, she couldn't give up the radiance of daytime. To cope with her shame, the star buried her guilt and closed her eyes. From the sound of it, Setaria's just hung up on the research opportunities here. But she doesn't really support the Academia. She still feels guilty about not doing more for the desert, right? She's just running away from her problems. Indeed. When they are presented with complex moral issues, many people will simply plug their ears and go with the flow until the problem can't be fixed anymore. She's suppressing a lot of guilt, but before she realized it, she had already become the sage's accomplice. Right. We must somehow make her face her problems again. That way, not only can we get useful intel from her, but she can also use it as an opportunity to redeem herself. From my past observations, Setaria will take a day off from the Academia every 10 days to do some shopping in the city. Tomorrow afternoon just happens to be a shopping day for her. That'll be our chance. To prepare, let's go check out some of her favorite spots, and have a quick chat with a few of the vendors there.
Alles klar, Meine Freunde, wie es scheint, werden wir die Legendenquest von unserem Freund hier fürs Erste abbrechen müssen. Ist komisch, ja, tatsächlich. Sowas habe ich eigentlich nie gemacht, eine Legendenquest abzubrechen, aber wir kommen gerade nicht dazu, Kevin anzusprechen, weil Nahida in ihr drin ist. Deswegen wird es eine Weile dauern jetzt.
This should be Setaria's favorite fortune-telling spot. So should we ask the fortune teller about Setaria? No, I already have enough information on Setaria. The most important thing now is for you to pay attention to the vendor's talking style and key characteristics. Talking style and key characteristics?
My poor lost lambs, have you become troubled over your fates? The divine voice of wisdom often echoes between mine ears. If thou be blessed today by the gods, I may be able to show you the way.
Huh? Really? Nahida, you've been whispering things to her?
Shh! My friend here has some doubts regarding her future. Can we get a fortune reading for her?
Of course, of course. In that case... Uh-huh. It would seem that Harut and Marut are quite wary of you. Perhaps, at some time in the past, you have somehow offended the gods.
Only mocking the god of Animo, questioning the lord of Geo's financial savviness, and brawling with the god of Electro. Do those count?
Oh, nothing. Go on, pick an aspect for her to divine.
Love prospects? No problem at all.
Das interessiert mich, Leute.
The gods have spoken. The truth shall be revealed. One who is fated to cross your path will appear on... Huh? So many people will fall for you. How could that be? Harut, Marut, did you two spoil my divination? I've never read a fortune so absurd.
Actually, Paimon thinks this is probably the most accurate fortune-telling you've ever done.
I admit that the orientation of today's celestial matrix is, suboptimal. As such, there will be no charge.
Is that so? Well, that can't be helped.
If you were to bring some food offerings for Harut and Marut on your next visit, perhaps they could help you reverse the wheels of fate.
Alter, die schwarze Katze ist ja ganz schön groß, Alter. Tschüss. Sie ist so groß. Sie ist so fucking groß. Lol. Na dann. Okay, wir sind jetzt hier, ne? Mal gucken mal. Wir müssen an einen anderen Stand, und zwar dahin. Let's go.
Is this another one of Sataria's favorite stalls?
Yep. It belongs to a king. His father helped Sataria a lot when she first moved to Sumeru City, so she still comes by whenever she has time. When I start talking with him, listen carefully to the details of our conversation.
Ah, dear customers. Would you like to look at some pottery?
We caught wind of your great craftsmanship, so we specifically came to take a look.
Oh, I recognize you. Aren't you Miss Catherine from the Adventurers Guild? Sounds like I'm in for some big business.
Speaking of, where did you learn this trade?
I suppose you could say it all started with my dad. He's a mason by trade, but I picked up an interest in clay while apprenticing for him. After that, I began making pottery by myself in secret. And I simply changed trades when my works turned out well. Although it's a pity that I'm no longer making much use of the knowledge provided to me by the Akasha.
That's nice. You're making a living doing something you love.
So is your father still working as a mason?
Oh no, not anymore. A few years back, he fell from a roof and broke his leg. Since he had already saved enough mora over all these years, he's just enjoying the retired life in Port Ormos nowadays.
I see. We wish him peace and happiness in his retirement. I'll have someone in charge of logistics at the guild come by another day for some goods. We'll leave you to it. Take care now.
No problem. Rest easy, all our goods are sure to meet your every need.
Alles klar. Und da ist jemand von der Abenteuergilde. Na dann.
This should be our final stop. Sataria is always thinking of this restaurant when she's working at the academia, so she always comes by whenever she's out in the city.
Nahida, you've really thought of everything.
It's my duty to protect Sumeru's citizens, after all.
Hi there. I feel like I've seen you down by the docks before.
Huh? Sorry, I don't quite remember.
If I recall, you were having a discussion with someone about shipbuilding at the time.
Ah, that's right! I've always been really interested in feats of marine engineering. After all, I grew up in Liyue Harbor and spent my entire childhood staring at the ships going in and out of the port. I came to Sumeru to study, but failed to make it into the academia due to my lack of talent. But I'm still discussing all kinds of problems with different scholars, and I'm continuing to study and perform research from the restaurant's basement. I'm sure I'll get to the academia after their next round of exams.
What an admirable spirit for learning. Amazing.
Sure, but you'll find hardworking people wherever you go.
So this restaurant has a basement as well? Huh. First I've heard of it.
That's right. It's not usually open to patrons. Most of the time, employees use it for breaks or to hold private events.
I see. Yes, that makes sense. Well, good luck with your studies, Miss Chishan.
Thank you so much. As long as I can make it into the academia as an official student, I'll be happy.
Alles klar. Das ging echt flott.
So, was that everybody?
Mm-hmm. 3 familiar faces should be enough for Sataria.
What's the point of all the information we've collected? Nahida, you still haven't told us how you're planning to make Sataria face her problems.
Sataria is already used to avoiding her problems, so we must find a way to break through her usual sensibilities. I remember that you mentioned that the Eremites in Port Ormos are all making a fuss about the upcoming resurrection of the Scarlet King. Although it's all just a boatload of nonsense, the fate of her homeland may turn out to be Sataria's soft spot.
Oh, Paimon gets it now! You want to take advantage of the guilt Sataria feels about her homeland. Although she knows she should return home to help the people of the desert, all she's done is conspire with the sages. So how do we set that up?
Well, the Scarlet King is long gone, and Sataria is also too smart to fall for any simple tricks. If we simply engaged her under the guise of the Scarlet King's believers, she would definitely be wary of us, and we may not get anywhere. But if we were to borrow some of her close acquaintances to talk with her, her reaction would probably be very different.
So you mean you're going to possess those people we just talked to?
Yep. Possess them through the Akasha. Imply that they've already converted to the faith of the Scarlet King, and then convey our made-up will of the Scarlet King. As long as everything goes smoothly, we'll get through to Sataria for sure. She'll never guess that we had anything to do with it.
Ah, so that's how you're going to use all the info we collected on these people. It's so that you won't slip up and break form. Possessing them will only work if you can manage to pass off as them.
Exactly. So, best of luck with impersonating them.
Huh? Best of luck? But we don't know how to possess anyone.
That's no problem at all. I'll just share all their senses with you once I've possessed them. As long as you're also wearing an Akasha terminal, the effect will basically be as if you've possessed them yourself.
Huh. That is pretty convenient. But why does she have to do this? Can't you do it yourself?
Although I've been observing humans for a while, I've never been good at imitating them.
You're not wrong. It's always been painfully obvious whenever you try to pass as Catherine.
If it was at all possible, I would have preferred to leave these people alone. But seeing how things are now, I probably should just accept it and push on.
Yeah, don't beat yourself up over it. We're only doing this to help everyone, and we'll only be borrowing them for a little while anyway.
Alright, then let's give it a go tomorrow afternoon.
Alles klar. Ist Catherine jetzt wieder da? Leute, aus irgendeinem Grund kriegen wir unsere Kämpfe nicht zurück. Ich frage mich gerade, was passiert, wenn ich hier gehe? Ich will das Risiko nicht eingehen, aber dann wird die Quest wieder irgendwie zurückgesetzt oder so. Darauf hätte ich jetzt irgendwie auch keine Lust tatsächlich. Dann machen wir es halt so 18 Uhr am nächsten Tag. So. Ich bin gespannt, meine Freunde. Das wird immer interessanter. Aber wie gesagt, wir müssen echt die Legendenquest für eine kurze Zeit abbrechen. Das ist richtig komisch. Ich weiß halt nicht, wie lange wir sie abbrechen müssen. Weil die Sache ist halt die, solange Nahida in Catherine drin ist, können wir nichts machen. Ach so, wir sind zu spät. Mein Fehler, meine Freunde. So. Und ich würde sogar sagen, meine Freunde, ich verabschiede mich damit jetzt auch. In der Folge. Weil in der anderen Folge waren wir fast 4 Minuten drüber. Und dann passt es auch. Dann ist das Zeitlimit wieder, damit es wieder so in Ordnung. Wenn jetzt keine Filmsequenz auftaucht, Gott sei Dank nicht. Okay, meine Freunde. Dann würde ich sagen, sehen wir uns aber in der nächsten Folge. Euer Marschu. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Tschaußen.